Hello, welcome back to Ask Mbithe. It's a Friday. We're talking about anything that you want to know with regards to investments. Our SMS line is 20146, but you can also tweet us, and that is Mbithe Mwema on Twitter or Metropole TV. Where are you watching from? What do you want to know? I'm joined with my colleague, Mr. Simba Elijah. He does host every day a business show called Business AM, and we're just comparing notes on this coronavirus, COVID-19 KE, just to understand what's happening. Ask me something, Simba.
I want to ask you this. The biggest announcement this week was the State House briefing by the Dr. Patrick Njoroge, Central Bank Governor. What do you feel about it? Should we celebrate it? Because they said, well, we know. But the biggest announcement, it got a 50-50 reaction from the economy. Should we celebrate it? Is it going to help at this time? I think that's the question. Is it going to help?
The remarks were welcome. The remarks were certainly very welcome.
Yes.
But I broke it down and I said, okay, the first thing that he said, we are going to waive M-Pesa charges. You can move your money from M-Pesa to your bank, from bank to M-Pesa for free. And for anything that's less than 1,000, you can do it for free.
Yes.
Simba, do you know how much you spend on average per month on your M-Pesa charges?
Not so much, I would guess.
I'll tell you what mine is. I think for the last 3 months, it's 1,000 shillings, give or take. If it goes really up there, it's 1,500.
Yes.
But maybe I do many transactions because I'm always, I have a couple of businesses around, retail businesses, so I do a lot of things on my M-Pesa.
Yes.
I'm trying to imagine maybe an average person spends slightly less. So when he says he's released this, what he's effectively saying is, I want to leave some money in your wallet so that you can consume other things. But when you look at it in the context of 1,000 for 30 days,
that's why the sense really doesn't.
It's neither here nor there.
When you look at it, isn't it?
And then the second thing that he says is, okay, Mbithe, if you feel like you have a retail business and you're not getting your goods from China, imagine you can go talk to the bank. If they buy your story, I've allowed them to give you a 1-year moratorium or to extend your loan by a year.
Yes. Is that a directive or an advice?
No. It's advice, and the onus is on me to carry all my documentation and prove to my banker, and
and does that mean that the bank will then accept?
You can't compel them to accept. But Simba, this is the thing. I think when you compare what Kenya has done and what global banks have done, unfortunately for us, we don't have the kind of liquidity to inject to the market and say, boom, we're injecting cash into the economy. This is exactly what we're going to do. We don't have. And I think he's in a space where he's like, I wish I could do more, but for now, what I can do is just give you this soft measures to be able to, enhance your well-being. They're neither here or there, but when you're told you're a developing country, it's a developing for a reason. We are running on a deficit. Diaspora remittances are going to be hit like crazy. And our currency has been supported by diaspora remittances. So the currency is going to keep getting weaker.
Now, I want to point you out to exactly what happened that specific day when that was announced.
Please shoot.
I saw the KBA boss was right there. The KBA chairman, Joshua Igara, was right there. He said that I've spoken to the bosses. They are in agreement with this. We are ready to support you. Guess what? Equity Bank releases a press release. Says, we are not. Our board is yet to approve this.
And interestingly, today, Friday, my friend did a transaction from Stanbic to her mobile phone. She was charged. That's 84 shillings. So she came back and we are in a group and she's like, okay, I'm being charged for this. Maybe I should write. Because the thing is, there is a directive, but you cannot come and impose a directive onto a business decision. There is processes that have to be followed on a business decision.
But doesn't the economy tend to think that we have the Central Bank of Kenya that sort of protects us and guides what the banking sector should be doing?
Let me go back to the sanitizer scenario here. The government has said, we are going to supply sanitizer for free. Will you go buy that sanitizer? Will you go take it, the free one? Honestly, will you go take it? You find it outside with people maybe from NYS or from AP.
Like, well, guys, free sanitizer.
Are you going to take it? Be honest.
No.
You're not going to take it.
I'm going to buy.
You need, exactly. You're going to buy. So you can tell me this should be the price of sanitizer. But as long as I am a commercial business, I will buy sanitizer, I will mark it up, I will sell it to you. If I am a provider of credit and services in the payments industry, before I can go and say, forget this amount of money. Do you know how the banks have been making money? non-funded income has been growing in banks.
And that's the thing.
And a part of that, talking about. Yes. The largest growth line has been fees from transactions. It's been a cash cow. So today we go sit, imagine you're running a bank, let's call it Simba Bank.
Yes.
Let's just be fictitious. And the income line that has been growing ni ile ya M-Pesa to bank na bank to M-Pesa. Alafu nakwambia nyonga leo.
Yeah, like for the next
till
90 days, I mean,
you want to comply,
yes.
But and I can't. Okay, let me put it different. Now, if I come as your customer and I say serikali wamesema, what will you tell me? Or even though people have been saying the government should tell landlords.
I actually did get a response from that.
Yes.
I actually was telling my friends yesterday that just before we were getting into a vehicle this morning, I used Swivel to get to work in the morning because it's pretty much effective.
Yes.
So now I got this driver and then I told him, where's the sanitizer, man? I just want to sanitize my hands before I get in. And then I asked him, well, the government said that you need to have one. Then he said, endo ambio serikali kuja nipatie pesa niwe sanitizer nikuwekea hapo. You get?
Because it's a commercial decision, but let's not lose the point, because these are the things that happen, and they are welcome. They're not injecting money into the economy. We don't have that kind of liquidity to inject into the economy. We are running on a deficit, whether it's a current account deficit or a primary deficit. But, Simba, this is the one thing that I had, and I think everybody needs to pay attention to. When you're told that your bank account is now synonymous with your mobile wallet, and then prior to that, you're told by the largest mobile service provider that, hey, look here, we are increasing your limits from 70,000 to 300,000. And then the next thing that you hear is there's going to be a cash quarantine for 1 week. So we are going cashless. And what I keep asking is, if we're going cashless and Safaricom is the company that has the infrastructure to facilitate a cashless economy, then where are we seeing the opportunity?
And that is the question, isn't it?
Yes. The question now is, I bring it down to the stock market.
Yes.
If you want to invest, then are you going to see a bit more weakness on this price? And should you be buying it for the long term?
Yes.
Because I feel like there's more upside. There are more business opportunities for Safaricom today. Because I feel like what coronavirus did is said, shika. What you do with it.
Control.
When someone gives you a through pass, it depends on your ability to go straight for the goal.
Yes. So just before we really, because I want to ask you about the stock market and exactly whether this is the right time to go put your money inside and say, wow, for the future, let me wait for 5 years and see whether the market is going to correct. Another thing that I really want to ask you therefore is that I think you've seen what other economies are doing.
Yes.
Well, there's a $1 trillion package now from the USA government. France the other day announced $50 billion. We do know what the Banco Mauritius did, just the directives left, right and center. Can we start from some way as a government? I know KRA has never been hitting its tax incentives. They've never hit their tax targets. Never. And I told my friend I will be here. They have the biggest one yet, and I don't think they're going to hit it. Is it possible, therefore, to say that if you go to the rental income, you can actually now start saying that for all the businesses that have actually been paying their taxes year in, year out, during this time, because you're telling your people to work from home, that we can start from there. You guys have been good to us. You've been paying, well, so reduce the rental tax,
and reduce pay as you earn.
Isn't it?
Have you had this meme that says, hi, where's the car? Hi, where's the car?
It's running all around.
Let me ask you this. You're saying we never meet our targets?
Never, ever. It's been quite a long time.
The bulk of the money that we raise is for what? Wages and debt. We have to start paying debt.
Yes.
We have already been paying debt.
Yes.
So how are we going to say we don't collect natukona? We have obligations each and every single month. And that's why you're seeing the measures we are being given are very soft measures where they're like, okay, let me just remove your M-Pesa charges. This on the tax pay as well, it's not going to happen.
That's much we can do, isn't
but
it?
more importantly, stop putting us at the level of US. You said $1 trillion. What is our GDP?
That's where the question is.
You said France put in 50 billion.
50 billion.
Our GDP is $80 billion, give or take.
Yes.
Depending on the numbers that you're looking at.
Yes.
So, ni kama kwenda, it's like going to the informal settlement and asking this person, mbona uendange kukula Kempinski? I mean, what's with you? Branch is just 4,000. Umse analipanga rent ya 2,000. So you see, like the way you can't, it's not It's not apples for apples. It's very different. And with this pandemic, because it's affecting everyone, I think we have to start from a point of we are all trying to do the best we can with what we have. And we could want to fault them. And the central bank is having its MPC on Monday, rather.
On March 23rd. And that's what I wanted to ask you now.
Yes.
Do we expect it to go lower? I mean, would we now say, well, the economy is suffering, let's get cheaper money?
Ideally, we would want to go lower so it can be able to inject liquidity in the economy. But I come back to you, it's neither here or there. What are you going to do when the rates come down? Are you going to go take a loan?
To use it where?
But the thing is, actually on loans, maybe we'll all start taking mobile loans, but are mobile loans priced off CBK?
They're not.
Exactly.
Because that has been a conversation for quite some long time, isn't it?
But Simba, we're coming to almost the near end of our market. And I wanted us to just touch on now stocks. I mean, all of this we've discussed, so what?
I got a question for you. Safaricom, down 7%, they're doing at around 25 shillings, isn't it? We're talking about the ABL, that's at 159. Is it the best time to go in?
No. Would you buy a stock today? Will you take your money? So in one scenario, you're seeing people going to shop for groceries. So that you can stock up for 3 months, give or take. So cash is king. You must have cash with you. So you cannot go back into the stock market and buy. This is what I'm saying. People are selling out. If you want to invest in the long term, just leave your holdings there. But now is not the time to come and buy. I think there will be better opportunities in coming days.
There was this beautiful incentive that the NSE boss told us the other day about the futures. Is also a good time to go there now?
Yes, if you're hedging a position. If you're hedging a position, then you go it's actually better to get into the derivatives if you understand them, as opposed to buying the actual stock. Because what's going to happen now, again, I keep saying, you always have to remember when you're trading on the NSE, 70% foreign trades. These foreign traders are in Europe, they're in North America. Whatever is happening there is defining their sentiment. Second risk factor, currency 105.25 and going down based on weaknesses globally as well as perceived weaknesses in as far as our diaspora remittances are concerned. And our vault does not have enough dollars, or people don't think we have enough dollars to be able to fight anything that happens. So 105.25, it could go down to where World Bank has been saying it needs to be at 117. I'm not an expert in that market, I'm not a trader, but there is risk affiliated with the currency. If I am a foreigner, I am selling out of this market as quickly as tomorrow. If I'm not selling out of this market, the stock that I'm going to hold on to, Safaricom, because out of all this crisis and out of this menace, that's the one stock that we have seen holding up. Diageo has said that globally it expects its revenues to come down 3%. EABL is faced by risk and it's faced by slower consumption. Price is going to go down further. This banks is only a matter of time. Sentiment is going to change. They're going to go down further. Don't be buying any stocks now.
Hold on.
Cash is king. Hold on to your cash. In fact, the only stock that you need to be piling up on is perhaps tissue paper. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. That was Simba and I on Ask Bithe. A lot of energy, and I hope we've been able to at least answer some of your questions. We're still available. Talk to us on our Metropole TV. That's on Twitter, or you could talk to me in Bithe Mwema, or you could SMS us. Where are you watching from? What do you want to know? Is this thing making you scared, or are you seeing opportunities to either do a business over and above stocking up on tissue paper in your houses? SMS line 20146. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon, and may God bless our country and just help us avert this pandemic. Enjoy the weekend.